One of the major reasons why men, actual men, instead of males, are not seeking women like they used to is because of communication. A woman, or even a female at least, will try everything else instead of communication. And that is the major area. An actual man will practically spend all his downtime he has, whether it be in public, the internet, doing what he's doing, or whatever it is, to where a woman or a female can reach out and contact him or communicate to him and try to reach his attention. And the one thing she will not do is simply communicate. The script has been flipped so much to the point where the woman, even the female at least, who's trying to do something with herself, at least trying to find some kind of man to, whatever it is, be a teacher to her, a leader, a mentor, someone she can follow and support to be a helpmeet to him. She has to communicate, because that's the thing, is that when people find out how people are and how it goes and how things work, it gets to the level to where the woman or the female who's making the effort has to court the man. And when she communicates, she has to rethink and revisit what she was taught. The reason why is because a lot of these females, especially some women out here, part of the reason why they don't get it is because they're listening to witches. Witches on social media, witches in their groups, witches on the YouTube, trying to give them instructions and so forth, because rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So what's being said here? Because someone is communicating to you, trying to get into your ear and poison your mind with lies, you think that you have to act like an animal, that you have to stoop down to the level of an animal. An actual man, whatever position in life he's in, has the capacity to have a soul in him, has the mesh of a soul in him, and a spirit. So you, the woman, and even the least the female, who's trying to reach and have some kind of communication with them, have to realize that's not an animal. That's someone who has purpose, who has meaning. You have to treat them with respect, honor them, communicate with them, learn their boundaries respectfully, what they're about, what they're doing with themselves, and find out that if both of you communicate properly and easily talk and interact with one another, how can you both reach that level to where you both know or find out if you're the right fit for one another? And here's the other thing too. Many women, especially a large majority of females, they struggle to comprehend the reality that there's more of them than they are men. And that's before you get to the guys and the males. The guys who are actually trying to do something with themselves. And then you have the males where they're going through life wherever they are and however they function and what they're going through. Plenty of people out there in the world need a relationship with the Creator. They need to know their Father who's in the Shamayim, in heaven. And in doing so, just as Adam was connected with the Father, he was able to talk to Eve, and both of them actually spent a good amount of time communicating and talking to each other and just growing and building up as a team. And when you go there and read for yourself, she was made for him as a helpmeet. So how she was made, her character and personality, and so forth, she was able to connect and the bond with Adam. And now you have this part of time, of history, where there are more women and females than they are men and guys, especially when they're seeking an actual man who has different certain levels of where he's successful in and doing something with himself. It's going to be a challenge to stick to monogamy. And that's the thing, is that when you have some women, and especially females, who are being taught witchcraft and all these other things that are nonsense, they're going to go and act like an animal towards that man and wonder why he's backing off, wondering why he has nothing to do with you. Because westernized countries, especially America, where it's the most potent. And here's the thing, you don't even have to say you go to wherever denomination of religion or the faith, whatever denomination of religion out there. If you even just read the book for yourself and have some kind of faith and reach out to the Father and see the world as it is, there's a reason why they call America the quote-unquote Great Satan, because there's so much evil in America that is just being schemed and figured out? Why do you think so many people in America are just have so many things thrown at them, including how to get married? Because there's so much evil being worked in America. You have witches, you have wizards, you have warlocks, Satanists, you have the wrong choice of friends, you have advice from the wrong kind of family members, you have people on social media, especially YouTube, trying to put poison in your head, trying to tell you that you have to go act like an animal towards men. And men, that plenty of them have souls, and they don't want to be treated like an animal. Of course, some of you are burning. Of course, some of you are. You have needs that need to be satisfied. And the way that's being communicated towards a man, not all of them are going to get it. It's confusion. And the Creator, Yahweh, Elohim, he is not the author of confusion. It's the devil who's the author of confusion. So if you can't go up to a man and you're having all this shuffling, all the strategy, what this mentor taught, what this dating coach said, what your auntie said, what your close friend for X amount of years said, that one woman or lady that you're cool with recommended to you, and you're still trying to figure out how to connect with a man, even at least connect with a guy. Sometimes it may not just be you specifically. Sometimes it's the sources of information you get it from. Here's other bonus too. Back in the day, you didn't have many broken up families. And that's another evil that's been done to many people throughout the world. It's broken up families. When they have daughters, those daughters grow up. Either the man, or to correct it properly, either the dad stopped being a man, or he's a guy who's just struggling in some areas, or he really took a down spiral and he's just operating as a male. It's a challenge to try to find a man for marriage, especially to court with and be married to, when that guy or man that the woman is seeking, or the female is seeking, to bring to her dad, so that they can both sit down and talk and have conversation, not beat around the bush, not use this whole, logic of trying to measure and judge people based on the philosophy and mindsets of animals. The dad has to know that either that man or that male at least is gonna do what he can to take care of his responsibilities, and that he's able to, whatever it is, to at least be responsible with his daughter. So that's another area that leads into this whole communication thing, is to know more or less what you need, what you're lacking in, what you have. Because courting that goes into a potential marriage, marriage isn't supposed to be used for one or two things. It's supposed to be a progress, a journey towards the full package. The emotions, the communication, so that you're not alone, or loneliness, or just the privilege, the delights, the enjoyment to have someone to communicate and talk to and interact with. Activities, to work as a team, to grow in different areas. So he grows in his perspective areas, you grow in your perspective areas. And the bigger picture that goes along with that marriage. Some people, they get married because they are of like belief. Some people, they get married because the man, he's about business. He's doing something with himself. He's making some serious choices for his life, and even accomplish some. So whatever he needs to be at, he's either gone there, or he's in the progress of it, even starting. And then you have the guys where, and especially some males out there, where they could be reached just to encourage, to recommend things without frustrating him, without trying to control him. That's another thing. Trying to control a man, that's trying to treat a living being that has a soul like an animal. Animals, when they pass away, their spirit pretty much goes back to the earth, to the dust. When people pass away, especially plenty of them out there who have souls, they got to go upstairs and have a serious conversation, whether it's for their good or for their judgment. And you women, especially down to the females, whatever you are in your life and your development, there's all sorts of men. Men who are, alpha males. Then you have men who are in the faith, as well as men who are doing something with themselves, so they can be responsible with themselves and other goals that they have alongside that progress and process. And when you're trying to get with them, you have to consider, how are you going to treat them? How are you going to support them? How are you going to be part of the team? How are you going to make this thing work? How are you going to live your life when you're spending it with them, when you're connected with them? So that when you're alongside that man, even a guy, even down to the level of a male who says yes to you, how are you going to connect with him and be proactive as a teammate, as a supporter? There's just very few stories out there, and I say few, where the woman made the efforts to go check out some useful things out there on the road, such as a trade or a skill, and talk to the male and said, or even the guy and say, hey, have you considered this and so forth? I seen that they have X, Y, and Z towards it and so forth. You may want to check it out because it might be a good fit. Being resourceful. There you go. There's men up there where they could use someone who could be a team player, as well as someone to where they can. Plenty of people know this. When they're done doing what they gotta do, their work, their job, their career, their trade, whatever they do to get it done out there in the world and bring in the results, whether it's in the middle of their process where they need some support and encouragement, that's also take care of any responsibilities on the side. And even afterwards too, when they're done and they gotta close it down for the meantime, they gotta unwind, take a break, and even when they did enough for the day, and they're gonna spend the rest of their time and whatever hours they have left for the downtime or anything else. Because here's the thing. Many people are not taught that when you become more mature, you become not only more responsible, but you become open to the possibility of becoming a greater servant. So there's plenty of women out there, especially females, who can consider and revisit everything they've been taught and as well as experienced and been conditioned to. Because there's many things that hide in the emotions, especially in that will. Your will to do things, as well as whatever is pushing and tugging on those emotions too. Including those things that influence the mind to cause it to go left or right so easily. What tries to sway the mind to go certain directions. If all possible. What are those stumbling blocks that trips you up? Because this goes back to the book itself, the scriptures. A man learns how to serve. Because it's bigger than just providing. It's bigger than just bringing in a paycheck. It's bigger than just being a dad unto children. It's bigger than how much can you get from him that is something that you want. It's bigger than your own desires, whatever is your desires currently. Because there are some desires that are good for you, the right kinds, and there are desires that are bad for you. Desires such as having someone to communicate with, to have different relationships and different marriages. They have all different type of dynamics. There are areas where the man could be a teacher. Then there are other areas where he could be a dad. There's other areas where he could be someone you can talk to and communicate with. And then there are areas where sometimes you gotta have that interaction with them and unwind to not only unwind, but also to bond in that way too. Because there are plenty of women out there who know, and there are some females who are aware that sometimes you want children more than the man does. And even when you're not, either you or him is not ready to have a child, both of you communicates. Talk, figure out from there. So however long you have to wait it out from there. Don't rush it. Just enjoy the process. Enjoy the progress, the journey. Because at some point, when you're both of you are ready, and you have that child, then you can focus on the whole progress of the pregnancy and raising that child. And you can minimize the things that will distract and pull away the tension and put any sort of pressure. So even in that area right then and there too, even if it's for bonding, as also unwind too, to satisfy those needs. See, there's guys out there, and there are men, as well as males who can get it too, where they, at some level, can get that there's more to a relationship than just having certain needs or desires satisfied. Then there are also women, as well as some females out there, where they get it that there's got to be more to a relationship than just spending money and having other needs and desires met. Because marriage itself is a full package and its perspective areas. So in each marriage, two people, they will interact with each other in different areas in different ways because of their communication. So in some areas, some may be more like friends, some may be more passionate, some may be more interactive in business goals and getting things done. Others just might be more old-fashioned. And then you may have plenty of cases out here that they are shown to you of polygyny. Some women, as well as ladies, know that they can only spend so much time with a man, and then they need some downtime. They might need to talk to their friend, their stepsister, the other woman or lady who's like a sister to her or like a friend. And so when you have polygyny involved, then you have either a sister, a friend, or a mother figure to talk to interact with as a team, so that you have your needs and whatever desires you have communicated with the man, covered, satisfied as much as possible where it's needed, and then he can spend time with the other woman or lady. And in some cases, the other a potential female who wants to be with them too. And they can figure out from there too. And you can be supportive so that everything that's going good can be figured out, so that all of you could be one happy unit. And that female can eventually grow, mature, learn, and develop, so that she just becomes more mature. She understands, she gets wisdom, and develops to where she starts to be more of a woman. Because this whole process when it comes to courting, it doesn't have to be all that complicated. People make it complicated, okay? All these quote unquote dating gurus, all these dating coaches, all these under the radar witches, all these people who, to some kind of level, have air between their ears. Whether they intentionally do it or they don't know better themselves either. And they want to share bad information, bad advice, bad counsel, and so forth. And that's the thing, is that when desiring the right information, to get the right direction, the right counsel, and the such, a good amount of it, plenty of it has its information that originates from the scriptures. The people who actually read the scriptures and comprehend it will get it, especially the areas in the letters of the New Testament. The man, he's trying to do his role, and the woman, as well as the ladies, especially the females, can be taught by the older women who actually have been married, can be taught by the older woman, so that they know how to not only talk to a man, to interact with them, so that both of you can eventually, at some point, be on the same page. Not to try to be strong and independent and try to control him or talk to him or treat him like an animal, but to communicate, to touch and agree. And know if that man, or at least that guy, in other cases, even that male, if they actually are going somewhere, taking care of the responsibilities, and they desire marriage, instead of trying to play you, smooth talk you, drag their feet, And when given your body, find out that they weren't committed. Because there are two sides to the story. Also, having a dad who can talk to him, talk to the man, to the guy, even the male, to find out what they're about and their intentions. There's opportunities out there for that potential partner who's going to court and desire you. Can be screened to know that they want to court and they want to eventually get married. They're going to take care of the responsibilities and not just leave you hanging once they experience your body. Because there are guys out there where they're going to quote unquote play the game. So there's, especially back in the 1990s, when hip hop music got popular, there's plenty of males out there, guys, as well as men who degenerated themselves to the level of two-legged dogs, of the quote unquote just getting the woman, even the lady for her body, and then leaving her, and then go out there and boasting and acting tough, hardcore, proud of himself, and he goes to find other two-legged dogs to high five and say, yeah, and the such. Instead of finding out what kind of individual that's being dealt with, for them to sit down with your dads to find out if he's serious or he's not the right fit for you. Without that dad who's supposed to be doing his role as screening out any wrong kind of people. So without that dad around, it's a challenge to screen out and get a feel, to get a legitimate idea, to know if that man or even that guy or male is going to be committed and serious, especially if he has children, especially if he gets you pregnant. So with a dad, and in some cases a potential stepdad who knows is doing this role, can screen out to know as it is if that's going to be a good fit for you, are they there for the wrong reason, and so forth. And some dads, they may get it right, others, they may get it wrong. Sometimes that man, guy, or male, he just needs some brotherly love, some counsel and instruction. So wherever he's at in life, if he's coming short, then he could be informed. Because that's the thing. There are men, guys, and males who can grow from where they were to something and somewhere better. All they need is help, and if they have a relationship, they are connected with the Father who's in heaven, and they can seek the help of the Father in their life, in His direction, and all the support they need to, even people, places, and things they can go to interact with as well too, so that they can grow and go on to perfection with the help needed. Whatever potential pitfalls, they can be plastered over. Sometimes that man, guy, or male just need to get certain areas of instruction, direction, how to, and resources, and being men, getting the right kind of work, the right kind of crowds to associate, have dealings with, the right kind of friends, the right kind of opportunities in life, the right kind of community, and so forth, so that they're not lacking. That way, when there's the green light from the dad, then there's little less things to worry about, less things to be concerned with. That man, guy, or even that male is on his purpose, doing what he's got to do, and you're there to be on this team, to help him meet that need, to help him get there. He does the heavy lifting, you do the support. And it is old-fashioned. Some of it could be cooking the food, making sure it's healthy food too. Some of it could be prayer, just praying for him and seeking for his help and his support too. Some men can encourage themselves. But hey, if you're there encouraging him, and you know the Father too, you pray and ask the Father to help him, to strengthen him, to lead his steps. As well as that his will be done through him in that man, and you just support him. Those two things of being his support, it's good. There are rare occasions where, because the woman is designed and made with special gifts, sometimes he may bring it to you to say, hey, how about X, Y, and Z? How about this? How about that? And so forth. So that whatever areas he has not considered or he has overlooked and can use a second look into it, he can use some insight, some constructive thought and information that you may know of to give to him that can help him, so that whatever it is, he can go address it to get it done. Because a wise woman is going to learn how to build that man. That way, the house that she's living in with them, or wherever she's going to with them, that they travel and as such, that environment can be built up and it can be pleasant and good. Especially when it goes to having children too. that environment can be positive and peaceful and good for both of you to be around in. And that's the other thing too is communication, communication, communication. When a woman makes effort to talk to a man, even a lady and a female actually makes the effort to talk to a man, to actually be mature about this whole courting and so forth, even to the level of where it's in marriage and they continue to communicate by talking, hearing, and listening and hearing, so that they can have healthy dialogue with one another. Whatever comes up in life or shows up, whatever situation it is, could be discussed and figured out. That way both of you can move forward and reduce any friction, take away any arguing, any fussing and fighting, have it figured out, have a plan. And if it's a situation where it's not so clear right now, talk with each other, give it time, and especially if you're in the faith, you have a relationship with the Father, have some faith, have some patience. The breakthrough needs that effort, the patience and the faith. Sometimes the man may be learning something, even the guy, if it's a guy or if it's a male, you just gotta be patient. Have some faith and patience. And if you have a connection with the Father and take it in prayer, that way you can be patient and diligent in the process. So in the outcome, you can look forward to the opportunity of a breakthrough coming forth. And if it comes into your hands to give him something, then be more of a help by giving him that opportunity of the help he needs. Some people go through things in life of different sorts. In some areas, people just need help. They need information, they need resources. They just need the things that's gonna solve the problem, to complete something, even to conclude a matter or situation, the solution. So, if it's given into your hands to help him, whether it's prayer or if it's resources, people, places, or things that he can interact and go to and reach out to, then that's an opportunity to help him so that he can grow wherever he's at, solve different problems, even get the breakthrough that he needs. Because here's the thing that many people miss out when it comes to courting these days. People have a history. They have a past. So what the women, ladies, and females have been through, they can get the help they need. And those who are in the faith especially, and even just learning about the faith and considering it too, those who believe, they and their thoughts too can be contacted and help given for prayer. And people have things in their history so they can get the solutions for that too. Because there's some people who know about prayer, water baptism, as well as healing, especially deliverance in different areas of the faith too. And they could be a helpful resource so that whatever's in the past and even a challenge in the here and now could be addressed to help supplied. That way you can move forward, and if possible, that man, guy, or male can get the help he needs too with whatever he's been through as well too and going through. That way both of you can move forward. Because in this whole progress, this journey, this process to go from courting to marriage, it doesn't have to be complicated and overcomplicated. It's a gradual process. You communicate, you talk, you speak up. You treat them like a living person, someone who has a soul, instead of treating them like an animal. And they can respect that, wherever level they are at, too. Also, those of you who are wondering, yes, what it says right there in the scriptures, it means what it means. In the book of Isaiah, here's the thing. What's supposed to happen in the future, and it's going to be the aftermath of whatever's going to happen. Whatever guys, males, and men who are left, who are actually making themselves at some opportunity or level to be a potential dad, as well as a example. There's going to be only so many of them left, and whoever women, ladies, and females that are around, they're going to actually have to make the effort to seek them out. And wherever was the failure at has to be overcome and dealt with, because it's spoken of where many, if it's remembered correctly, 7 women will take hold of 1 man. They're going to have their own food, their own clothing. They're going to ask him to be called after his name to take away their reproach. So, as much as you hear about the people out there who say this or say that, consider, when are you going to listen, hear, and consider? Will it be in the here and now to make the changes and seek the solutions and what you need to do to move forward? Or do you have to spend years to learn the hard lesson to learn the hard way and be in the position where you potentially have to find a man to cover you. And as mentioned earlier too, with the Western culture, Westernization, all these ideas, there's a lot of confusion involved, wrong information and so forth. Because talking to a guy should not be all that difficult. You talk, you communicate, you just ask questions, you interact with each other. And whatever it is, when it comes to courting, they just want to get to the point. They want to know if you're serious, what you're doing with yourself, what you know. Are you willing to learn and be taught new skills, developing your character, and if possible, to learn about the faith so that whatever you've been through and however you carry yourself and behave, that could be improved, to be addressed. Because the old you that is not right, you can become better than that. So those who know about coming to the faith, about being water baptized and born again of the authentic Holy Spirit, here's the thing. When you're born again, the old you, or how you used to be, you start to lose that appetite, that desire, that style. You start to hate, you start to dislike, disagree, and not even want to go back to that kind of stuff. The new you that the Father has rebirthed, has made, and it's a work in progress over time. As you learn, it's way better than the old you. You can go ask other women who have been born again of the authentic Holy Spirit. Especially when you meet those who know about deliverance ministry, about prayer, about the laying on of hands to heal, and the workings of the gifts of the Spirit. You want to find the opportunity to meet a sister who's equipped with these kind of gifts. That way you can get on the right track. That way, with the potential of where they're at too, you can get the right counsel, the right information, and so forth. Because the way the road is right now, especially in westernized countries, and the way people are taught, you don't have to figure this all out by yourself. And if you have the Father with you, greater is He that's in you than he that is in the world. And if you have the right friends, the right associates, the right fellowship, the right family, the right connections, whoever is good to have connections with, you can get through courting instead of trying to figure it all out by yourself and getting the wrong information. So be encouraged and make the change today.